All right, good morning. Good morning and welcome to our June Rooster Booster breakfast. At this time, we're going to ask you to stand as we begin our program with our invocation and pledge. And with that this morning, from Western Kentucky University, where she is Spirit Master, please welcome to the podium Pace Wiseman.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Would you please bow your heads and pray with me? All-powerful and ever-loving God, we come before you today with our hearts full of gratitude for the many blessings you have given us in our community and in our individual lives. We say this with the understanding that many in our nation and in our world are struggling. Please bring peace to the areas that are suffering from war, exploitation, or suffering, like the soldiers who stormed the beaches of Normandy 81 years ago tomorrow. Heading into danger to save our world, please give each of us the gift of courage to make a difference. In your holy name we pray. Amen. All right, now would you please join me in saying the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They're related, in case you all didn't know, they're kin, right? I think we're all related to Candace in some way. It is time for our Mingle Minute, so let's do it. Make some friends.
Thank you for being a friend.
So our secret shakers this morning for our Mingle Minute, they worked together, which is perfect because they worked together at Willow and Pine Market. Carly Barr and Isabel Higgins, where are you this morning? Right there. Hey. So who are we going to recognize today? Who did you all shake hands with? We're going to shout out. Nick Crampy. Where's Nick? There you are. Come on up, buddy. We're going to hook you up with this massive Spirit package from Western Kentucky University. There you go, friend. All right, it is time to welcome our brand new chamber members, and we have a lot to recognize and celebrate this month. And we're going to start with Third Baptist Church, a historic, inclusive congregation in downtown Owensboro committed to loving God and neighbor through worship, service, and grace-filled community. They blend tradition with a forward-thinking spirit, welcoming all, lifting the vulnerable, and engaging the city with hope. From Sunday worship to weekly outreach ministries, Third Baptist believes that church is not just a place to attend, but a people sent to bless. Their mission, to trust God, bless others, and celebrate grace. So let's welcome to the chamber Third Baptist Church. Up next, we have Health Quest. They offer expert primary care with a personalized touch, focusing on long-term wellness and prevention. Partnered with HQ Wellness, their aesthetic med spa, they provide advanced treatments like medical-grade facials, hair restoration, and non-surgical facelifts. HQ Wellness also specializes in bioidentical hormone therapy to restore hormonal imbalance, and their goal is to make patients feel and look their best on the inside and out. Let's welcome to the chamber HQ Wellness. Kangen Detailing is more than a business, it's personal, offering full-service professional mobile detailing and car wash in the Owensboro area. Kangen treats every vehicle with exceptional care. Owner Colt Walker grew up watching his dad do body work and paint, and which naturally led to him detailing. Kangen Detailing is a meticulous business driven by a passion for everything to be clean and precise. Kangen is looking forward to expanding and giving people the opportunity to have a career and not just a job. Welcome to the chamber, Kangen Detailing. Up next, we have Custom Staffing Services, which was founded in 1969 in Evansville, Indiana. Female-owned business with offices in Evansville, Princeton, Hanson, and soon Owensboro. They're members of ASA, EHRA, EREP, Midwest Kentucky SHRM chapter, Cedar, Kentucky, and Cedar, Indiana. Custom Staffing has been consistently voted best staffing agency in the tri-state area with staffing expertise in light industrial, administrative, coal mining, manufacturing, maintenance, equipment operators, and medical fields. Welcome to the Chamber Custom Staffing Services. Up next, we have Clean Green Portables, providing eco-friendly portable restrooms and luxury restroom trailers in Owensboro, Kentucky, and nearby counties. They offer clean, high-quality units for events and construction sites, including standard, deluxe, and accessible options. With a commitment to hygiene and sustainability, their regular maintenance ensures a reliable experience. I'll explain in a second. For your sanitation needs at weddings, festivals, and jobs, trust Clean Green Portables for convenient and affordable solutions. Welcome to the Chamber. So I got food poisoning last week, and that was very triggering. Okay. I'm dying. Bluegrass Occupational Environmental Health Consulting, also known as OpMed, is a physician-led clinic providing expert occupational medicine and medical review officer services nationwide. Founded by board-certified occupational medicine physician Cletus K. Opon, the clinic offers workplace injury triage, drug testing overnight, medical surveillance, and executive travel consultations. OpMed also extends secure, convenient telehealth services to individuals, ensuring quality care for both employers and their teams anytime, anywhere. Welcome to the Chamber, Bluegrass Occupational and Environmental Health Counseling. Up next, we have Reflections by Talia, specializing in newborn, family, senior year, and wedding photography. Recently celebrated her 17th year in business. She owns the Blue Victorian Studio on Frederica Street, has gorgeous outdoor locations, and provides a studio wardrobe to style your entire family for those beautiful portraits. Whether it's digitals or heirloom products with RBT, you get a luxury, stress-free experience from start to finish, with portraits that you will cherish for a lifetime. And did I mention that she also has a coffee bar and mimosas for the parents? You can visit reflectionsbytalia.com. Welcome to the Chamber. And finally, we have LEAP Services, a new therapeutic rehabilitation program for adults with severe mental illness in the Grad area. The program is designed to ensure that persons with psychiatric disabilities can grow and learn in a positive, encouraging setting. LEAP TRP emphasizes skill building so clients are equipped with the physical, emotional, and intellectual skills needed to live and work in their own environments. Welcome to the Chamber, LEAP Services. All righty, it is time to recognize our Ambassador of the Month. And, God, is this two in a row? I think it is. I think this is two in a row. Jennifer Richardson from River Park Center, where are you? So, Jennifer, for your kindness and your amazing personality, we're going to hook you up with a $50 gift card to Hillview Farms Meats. And I love that you brought Cheryl with you to scream for you and scream for Hillview, and right? Congratulations, dear. Yep. A sea of red this morning. We even have red can lights back here painting the picture. This is awesome. We're so excited to welcome back Western Kentucky University. And before I bring up President Caboni, we have a special video announcement from Costa Rica.
Okay, that I will get right.
Hi, my name is Addison Manier. I'm an elementary ed student at WKU in Owensboro, and we're at Costa Rica with Dr. Strode.
Hey everybody, I'm sorry that I can't be there with you this morning at the Rooster Booster breakfast, but I'm having a great time here with 15 Hilltoppers. Go Tops!
It's
fun. They're in Costa Rica. President Caboni is here. Welcome, and thanks for being our sponsor.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Chad, and to Derek. Sorry that he can't be here with us, but what a great example of what we do as a university, not losing sight of the fact that what's most important about WKU is the relationship between our faculty and our students and that deep personal connection. A great example of what we do. So let's give Derek a hand for all the great work he does regionally and here in Owensboro. Before I begin this morning, I want to make a couple of quick special introductions. First of all, would all members of the Owensboro Advisory Council please stand? So the Owensboro Advisory Council is made up of 23 area leaders, many of whom are WKU alumni, and we're fortunate to have this group to consult and lend their assistance. I want to thank Eddie Tishner for his work, and their work remains important to us. Eddie's finishing his service as Advisory Council Chair, and joining me on stage this morning is WKU alumnus Brandon Gentry, who's the incoming chair for the Advisory Council and also an incoming member of our board. So give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. Now, would all of our WKU alumni in the room please stand? All right. We have 7,600 alumni in the WKU Owensboro Alumni Chapter Service Area, and we're always welcoming new faces to the chapter. This past year, the Owensboro Alumni Chapter Golf Scramble raised more than $5,000 for scholarships. And this year's Golf Scramble, put on your calendars, August 15th at Ben Hall's Golf Course. So get your team together and watch your email for more details. Thank you, all of our alumni, for all you do for us and WKU. Go Tops. Now, all WKU faculty and staff, please stand. So I want to thank all those from WKU and Owensboro and all other WKU faculty staff who are here today. I appreciate all you do for our students and our university. Thank you for all of your work. And lastly, to our students, please stand up. We have a number of our local students who are here with us today. They greeted you as you arrived. They're engaged in our classes and with our faculty, and they're the reason for everything that we do. So thank you for being here this morning. So as we work to bring the WKU experience to all those seeking a better future, this academic year, we've created some remarkable successes on our Hill that I want to share with you this morning. We reached the highest one-year retention rate in the university's history, as well as our highest six-year graduation rate as we pursue an 80-60 goal at WKU. We achieved notable gains from our expanded student support structure, engaging nearly one-third of our entering class in living learning communities and reaching more than 700 of those first-gen students through our first-gen initiative, pushing on that first-year retention rate. We continue to expand hands-on applied research opportunities for undergraduates, last year increasing our total external research funding by over 29%, and we invested more than $860,000 for our current students to be able to study away and study abroad like those 15 students in Costa Rica. We surpassed our ambitious goal of $100 million for the WKU Opportunity Fund and established 267 new scholarships endowed on our Hill. And finally, we dedicated the Garrett Plaza on the new Hilltop, opened our new press box, and soon to be opened this fall, our new Gordon Ford College of Business building right on South Lawn, and also the Hilltopper Fieldhouse to open in just a few months. So lots of great things on the Hill. If you haven't been down, I encourage you to take a visit and walk around campus. As I say, it looks a lot different than when I was there as a student 25 years ago, but the people and the spirit is still the same. Now, I want to spend a bit of time talking about our successes here at WKU Owensboro. You know, we've offered classes here for 56 years, and we are proud to remain the region's only comprehensive public research university. And last year, I shared with you the 11 majors accessible right here in Owensboro, so folks don't have to leave town. They can get a full degree right here through our signature regional programs initiative. So one of the important things we've done is we want to meet the workforce demands of this area in Davis County, and they continue to drive growth on our Owensboro campus. And so I'm pleased to share with you this morning that this spring we had an on-campus enrollment reaching a 5-year enrollment high, and that's something to celebrate. So give me a round of applause for that. And today I'm delighted to announce that this August, WKU in Owensboro is adding 2 more programs. While you see the 11 scratched out in the 13. First, we're going to have a new Bachelor of Science in Workforce Administration with in-person classes this fall. Enrollment is currently underway, and this program is designed for local professionals to complete while they continue to work full-time. And the courses are offered online, in person, and it's a manageable 5-week session format so students can focus on a single class at a time. And then the second we're really excited about is our Master of Arts in Education and Student Affairs in Higher Education, which we're bringing back. A specialized opportunity for us to partner, work with, and learn from one another with our good colleagues here in the region, including OCTC, Brescia, and Kentucky Wesleyan. We're bringing higher ed professionals together to learn together into graduate classrooms from other professionals on our Hill in Bowling Green and across the nation. So with our WKU and Owensboro campus already serving 425 students, these additions set a trajectory for us to continue our growth. And I'm going to close with this. So you know that WKU is an institution of access and opportunity. We want to make sure every young person who wants a degree has the ability to pursue that degree. And I know you see in the newspaper these crazy stories about $100,000 in debt and how much tuition has increased. Well, I would encourage you, don't look at the sticker price for higher education. We've been working hard to bring our discount rate up and ensure that every person who wants a degree can afford it. So I want to close with this. We are working aggressively to maximize financial aid and scholarship support for every Hilltopper. And so this year, I asked them to once again analyze the bills for every WKU and Owensboro student. And here's what we found. 57% receive federal and state aid. 61% also receive a WKU Automatic Merit Award. 60% receive additional support from endowed scholarships or external funds. And with this, the average out-of-pocket cost for a full-time WKU and Owensboro student is $1,842 a semester. And better yet, 41% of our local students pay nothing, not a dollar. That deserves a round of applause. Come on. We know a college degree is worth the investment and it pays dividends, and we're proud to remain an institution of access and opportunity. So we continue to thrive in Owensboro. We owe tremendous gratitude to all those here and in Davis County for your work, your collaboration, and of course for your WKU spirit. And a special note of thanks to Candace this morning. Thank you for your partnership and for all you've done to support WKU in Owensboro as you move on to the next phase in your life. Please know WKU and I personally appreciate you and wish you all the best. Thanks for being here this morning. Go Tops!
Great job, as usual. Thanks, President Caboni. All right, we have a couple of special guests I'm going to bring up to the podium right now. We have Andy and Tamara Brasher here from Porch Fest. Come on, yeah. They learned they were coming here last night about, 5. So the musician had to get up early today, but it's all good. So I'm going to have them come up and tell you about Porch Fest because it's just a week and a couple of days away, and this year's event is going to be bigger and better than ever. It's going to be amazing.
We'll listen. We'll just throw stuff out at you.
Yeah, quit giving me side-eye and get up here and do it. Thanks. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Tamara and I are excited to be here with everybody, and as we're walking into the room, everybody is grabbing our elbows and saying, hey, Porch Fest is almost here. Yes, it is, and it's incredible. It's hard to believe. So next Saturday will be Porch Fest.
Our 7th year.
This is our 7th year. I know, it's hard to believe. And this is a process that we start in October of every year with submissions, and we get submissions from all over our community, but also outside of here regionally as well. And then we spend the next 10 months putting everything together. Basically 10 months of preparation for
One day.
Yeah, one day. 24
It's
hours.
totally worth it. It's my
24
favorite
hours
day.
of execution, yeah.
It's my favorite day of the year. It's a lot of work, but it's totally worth it.
So if you've never been before, basically on Griffith Avenue, we take some host porches and we turn them into stages for the afternoon. You will walk down Griffith Avenue and you will hear all kinds of music. You'll hear every genre you can think of as you're walking. It's this really incredible thing. And also here in the last several years, a lot of smells to go along with that as well. Lots of food trucks, right?
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Good smells. Good smells.
22 food trucks this year.
This is the most we've
Yes.
ever had there.
And
so.
we have a karaoke stage this year as well.
All right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Chad's already signed up.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay, so they're actually here to work this morning. So here's what we're going to do. 'Cause the truth is, there's so much going on. I mean, I mentioned Porch Fest. That's one thing. In 3 weeks, we have Romp coming back at Yellow Creek Park. So what we're going to do this morning, as you all know, Andy is a gifted songwriter. And so we're going to put those skills to work. We're going to create a song about the city of Owensboro for the summer months, and I need your help. So right now, just think of a word or a couple of words that come to mind when you think of the music scene in Owensboro or what life is like in Owensboro in June, July, and August. Hit me, anything. Vibrant. Oh, I like that. Vibrant's great. Okay. What else we got? Guitar. That's very classy, Emma. Thank you. Guitar, yes. Sticky? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Candace wants to play along. She says sticky.
Sorry, I'm just saying it's
Get an antiperspirant, Candace. What is that? Sultry. Oh, let's combine those. Sticky and sultry. That's Bob Glenn.
All right.
Don't ask. I need more words. What we got? Sweet tea is great. I heard river. Did someone say river? Yes. Let's throw in Romp for fun.
Okay.
Let's throw in Porch Fest for fun.
Right.
Anything else that you can think of? What was that? Family, that is so sweet. Look at you.
Todd said safe. Well, that is music.
Okay, we got it, but that's music. But thanks for playing. Hey, Ambassador of the Month. Sink your teeth into like a ribeye from Hillview Farms Meats. We got this. Thanks. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. Blue Bridge. I love it. Perfect. Okay, so just for your reference, more time. That's really good handwriting. Okay, so we have the word vibrant, the word guitar. We got sticky and sultry. We have sweet tea, river, romp, Porch Fest, family, and Blue Bridge. I think that's great. So we're going to give these words to our master lyricist, and he and Tamara are going to go backstage, and they're going to write a song about Owensboro, and you're going to hear it at the end. Thank you, love. All right, cannot wait to hear this. And thanks for your help, too. If that wins a Grammy, some of y'all will get to share in that Grammy. All right, it is time for our chamber update. A lot going on, as you can imagine, and so we're going to bring to the podium our president and CEO, right. Candace Brake. Let's do it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's such a great month here at the chamber. We got so much going on in June. My comfort monitor is a little bit covered up. My amigo over here is dealing with some food poisoning. We got a great day going together. That's good. Before we start, I'd like to introduce some special guests we have with us here today, and if you would stand up, and then we'll hold our applause until the end. We have with us today our Majority Caucus Chair, Kentucky State Representative Suzanne Miles. We also have Mayor Pro Tem Bob Glenn, City Commissioner Curtis Maglinger, City Manager Nate Pagan, Judge Executive Charlie Caslin, County Commissioner Larry Condor, County Commissioner Chris Caslin, Jailer Art Maglinger, Davis County PVA Rachel Pence Foster, and on the Owensboro Public School Board we have Jeremy Edge, and from the Davis County Public School Board we have Trey Pippin. Welcome to all of you all special guests today. Thank you for being here. And Todd, thank you for being here. We have watched your career. I was here when you moved here in Owensboro a long time ago, and to watch you grow the way you have in your career, but always keep. And he was a great business person, but at the center of what your ethos was public service. So thank you for that. Thank you for showing the Gen Xers here that we can step up into public service, because that was a long time ago when we all did that together. And thank you for continuing to make not just our country proud, but also our community. It's so good to have you here today. Appreciate you. Todd always rolls out the red carpet for us, too, when we come to D.C., and going to his swearing-in ceremony last year was absolutely amazing. I was so proud, and you can tell just the gravitas of what the NTSB does for our country to keep us safe. So we have a lot going on at the Chamber this month. Our ambassadors are meeting, and we have our corporate tour that Kitty has added now. We're so happy that she's here and doing some fun things. And they'll be going to the Opportunity Center, and I cannot see my screen, so I'm going to wing this. If you want to make up a time and a day, then let's just go ahead and do it. June the 24th at 9 a.m., and that's going to be at the Opportunity Center. Rosemary, thank you for being here today, and thanks for all the great work that you're doing at the Opportunity Center. CYP has a busy month as well. We have Coffee and Conversations at Gramps on Tuesday, June the 10th from 7:30 to 9, and that's just a time to get together and catch up on what's going on. The CYP is joining the pickleball craze. We're going to have a pickleball tournament on Tuesday, June the 17th at 5 p.m. at Center Court. Brenda Clayton is here, and thanks to Nola and Brenda for all the stuff they've done for Center Court and tennis and pickleball in our community. The CYP are also having the 2025 Save Our Summer Blood Drive. Amy Woosley has been working on that very closely. There's 3 different times that you can donate blood. Please be sure to check out CYP's social media and our website as well. And then the Community Development Committee meeting is on Wednesday, June the 18th at 11:30 a.m. at Old Hickory. And that's the group that works on placemaking projects around our community. The last thing that we did was the bluegrass murals. And they're doing some really cool and important things. We appreciate their work. So today is the last Rooster Booster for the class of 2025 for Leadership Owensboro. So good to see all of you all here today. Our last class day was Changing Our Community Day, and Dr. Stacey Ellis was the chair of that day. We had a lot of really good speakers to kind of light your fire and get you moving out in the community and figuring out what you're going to do next. We're so proud of you, and we just want you to know that one little spark, look at what the Brashers have done with just 2 people coming together and saying, what if we did a Porch Fest, and then making it happen for 7 years in a row. And that's community leadership, and that's what creates quality of life. So we're proud and cannot wait to see what you all do next. Tonight at the Chamber office, sponsored by German American Bank, we will have our Leadership Owensboro graduation. We'd love for you to come by, stop by and have some food and celebrate this class. That's really been a great year for us. They have actually started their class project, and it's going to be a hygiene drive. It's going to be a quarterly or biannual hygiene drive for the Help Office to ensure that the Help Office never runs out of hygiene products for people most in need. And if you think about the cost of hygiene products, compared to food and other things, that tends to be one of the things that gets cut in family budgets. So thank you all for understanding the importance of that, and thank you for calling it your class project, so we'll continue to make a difference in that area. We have a lot of ribbon cuttings this month. We have on Wednesday, June the 11th, we have a ribbon cutting at Texas Roadhouse, their new location. And then on Friday the 13th, we have Malone Workforce Solutions at 12:15. On June the 20th, we have a ribbon cutting of Paint Headquarters, which is owned by our own Ashton Warren and her husband, James. And then on Friday, June the 27th at 12:15, we have Leap Services ribbon cutting. It's great to see you guys here today. Then Chamber After Hours, we had a great one last week, and we're looking forward to another one on Thursday, June the 12th. It's at 4 p.m. at the Fairfield Inn. The ribbon cutting's at 4:30. Honey, if you want to come with me, so we can celebrate our, 32nd wedding anniversary. I'm throwing a party for you. Love you. The Small Business Month. So Julia, our Director of Communications and Events, otherwise known as DOSE, she is she decided this time to do a social media takeover for our small business board members. If you haven't seen those, they're really fun. We had the Willow and Pine Market and Hillview Farms meet. So those 3 are our board members. Carly, Isabel, thank you for making your mom so cool. We love her so much. Milford, Clay, I'm wondering if you have 2 pairs of tennis shoes with you every day too, but if you watch the video, you'll understand. And then Jim Gillis, who truly does everything from his market and the small business to getting out and working in the fields right after he closes the shop. So really inspirational and gives you an idea of what our small business leaders do in our community every single day. The Greater Owensboro Music Census. So we created recently the Greater Owensboro Music Commission, and this group is being built around creating a music ecosystem here in our community. We have so many musicians already, and we want to be able to make it better for musicians to live here in Owensboro. So the first thing we did was the Bluegrass Mural Project, and as you can see, there's the artists were actually there with us, and then in front of their murals. That was a great morning. Mike Simpson's in the middle, giving the arms up. But it was just a great day to celebrate, and the next step is going to be the survey for musicians to find out what we can do to make life more affordable for them here, to make life more convenient for them to be able to live here and build their careers in music. Chamber Tech Talk is going to be a free training that we're going to have next week on June the 10th at 11 at the Chamber office. Fast Tech is sponsoring this, and it's going to be on how to, hey Brandon, and it's going to be on how to protect your business from cybercrime. It's free, as I said. They are sponsoring lunch from Great Harvest, so please, you'll have to register for that and let us know if you're going to be attending. We'll have a link out to the membership tomorrow afternoon and a weekly email from me, so be sure to come, and thank you, Fast Tech, for all you do for our chamber. And the Green River Area Community Foundation Professional Advisor Seminar. That's for people to figure out ways on their trust and their wills. It's tax strategies for leveraging qualified charitable IRA distributions. I know, that sounds really exciting, but this is really necessary, and as we do a lot of transfer of wealth in our community, this helps us all be proactive on making our wealth leverage for the community and making things better beyond where we are in our lives. And that too is on Thursday, June the 12th at 8:30. It's in the chamber office on the 3rd floor. Oh, Julia, Shop Owensboro Summer Edition. That's coming up in July, where we do Shop Owensboro in the community to drive business to our boutiques. It's usually when their inventory is changing over, so it's a really important time to help our small businesses as we work on event planning and also on back-to-school shopping. So be watching out for that and participating in that when we get that moving on. The Chamber Golf Classic is going to be on Friday, August the 29th at the Owensboro Country Club. Sponsorships are now available. If you have not played in that, we have 144 golfers. It's a great time, a really good business networking event, but also just a lot of fun to celebrate our community and all that's going on here. So Harwood, you all know that we were doing a project in our community called Building a Better Owensboro, A New Path Forward. And Dr. Stacey Ellis with the Greater Owensboro Leadership Institute has been leading that. Over the past year, Stacey has held meetings where over 500 people have come together and talked about things in our community that they would like to see change and that they would like to be a part of making better. And they identified 4 different areas where we're having some very meaningful connections for our groups. And at this point, we have about 100 people who are regularly involved. Please watch our information for that. There's plenty of openings. It's for anybody who wants to get involved in the community and make a difference. And it's really a grassroots leadership organization. And thank you, Stacey, and for all of you in this room who have made this successful, because it takes every single one of us to make these things work. So this is Suicide Prevention Month, and we wanted to, on behalf of River Valley, remind you all that we do have a suicide line in our community. It's 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you know of someone who needs some extra help right now, you can call that as well. But thank you to River Valley for always reminding us of the mental health piece in our businesses. I mean, that causes a lot of not just productivity loss, but our quality of life in our community. So thanks to the team at River Valley for continuing to remind us of the importance of mental health. Okay, so to congratulate our Leadership Owensboro class of 2025, I'd like to ask to the podium the Director of Talent Programs, Ashton Warren, and she'll introduce our class. You want this?
I want the names.
I don't have.
There we go.
I thought you were going to memorize them.
I did memorize them, yes, thank you. All right, hello. It is an honor to introduce the Leadership Owensboro class of 2025. It has been a great year of connection, impact, and just growth. And it's been truly inspiring to watch your leadership journey unfold, and we can't wait to see what else you're going to do to shape our community and keep moving us forward. So if you will please make your way towards the screen to your left, near Julia, when I announce your name so that we can recognize and celebrate each one of you. Stephanie Bertram, BHG Realty. Derek Blair, Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline. Katie Case, Owensboro Health Regional Hospital. Kevin Clark, Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline. Captain Shannon Coombs, Davis County Detention Center. Brittany Cotner, EM Ford. Brittany Crabtree, Owensboro Municipal Utilities. Blake Edge, Green River Area District Development, Maddie Edwards, Davis County Public Schools, Donna Galloway, German American Bank, Krista Gibson, Big Rivers Electric, Kathy Griffin, Owensboro Health Park, Dr. Ryan Hall, Owensboro Community and Technical College, Captain Dwayne Harper, Davis County Sheriff's Department, Stephanie Higdon, Southern Star Central Gas, Ian Howard, Commonwealth Concrete Coatings, LLC, Carrie-Leen Irizarry, River Valley Behavioral Health, Gabby Jackson, Wendell Foster, Jeremy Kiefer, River Valley Behavioral Health, Lieutenant Jason Lee, Owensboro Police Department, Harley Metcalf, Carpenters Union, Local 224, Gil Mitchell, Owensboro Health, Chris Murphy, Fast Tech Services, LLC, Christy Netherton, River Valley Behavioral Health, Charlotte Newton, Houchins Insurance Group, Kendria Nichols, Owensboro River Port Authority, Aaron Payne with Baird, Rachel Ramsey, Owensboro Health Regional Hospital, Captain and Deputy Fire Marshal Brian Roberts, Owensboro Fire Department, Jana Russellberg, Big Rivers Electric, Alicia Storm, Owensboro Public Schools, Dustin Warren, Warren Farms, Rhonda Welch, Davis County Public Schools, and Megan Wiggins, UniFirst Corporation. Congratulations to all of you. And please join us this evening if you are available as we celebrate them with a reception and ceremony.
Yes, thanks again, and congratulations, everybody. All right, with the honors of introducing our guest speaker today, we're going to bring up to the podium Clay Ford.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Chad. Congratulations to the Leadership Owensboro team and Brittany Cotner, our Director of Operations at Ian Ford. Proud of that group and the experience that the Chamber puts together. Ashton, you and your team do a wonderful job of putting together a great experience for those people that are participating in the class, so we want to say thank you. I also want to say a quick thank you as well, as President Caboni did, to Candy Brake. We're so proud of her and what she's accomplished at the Chamber, and so thankful for her personal leadership through my career, but for so many of us that have been involved in the Chamber. All that you've done for Owensboro and this organization is truly spectacular. So thank you for everything that you've done. Yes, definitely deserves a round of applause. I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce our guest speaker today. We're so lucky to have member J. Todd Inman in Owensboro to speak to us, and I'll tell you just briefly about his career. J. Todd Inman is a native of Calvert City, Kentucky, and he brings extensive expertise in transportation safety, management, and policy implementation to his role as the 48th member of the National Transportation Safety Board. And that is an amazing honor for him to achieve, and for us to have somebody so closely connected to Owensboro in that position is just a wonderful opportunity for our community as well as our country. With a diverse background, including the Chief of Staff at the U.S. Department of Transportation, Secretary of Management Services in Florida, and one of the top 50 agents in the United States with State Farm in Owensboro, Kentucky, Inman is recognized for his transformative leadership and deep understanding of safety regulation. Member Inman has been heavily involved in the Owensboro community in various organizations and programs, and we're just going to touch on a couple of those that you were involved in, because there were so many to list, but a few of those that stuck out to me: the U.S. Small Business Administration National Advisory Council, the Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce Board Chair that he served. He was a board member at the Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation. He was a Leadership Kentucky and Leadership Owensboro graduate. I'm sure his class may have been the best as well. Still is. He was the chairman of the board of Wendell Foster Campus for Developmental Disabilities and a board member there for 17 years. I had the honor to follow him as the chair of that board and learned a tremendous amount about what it takes to be prepared to lead an organization like that. His preparation and the amount of reading that he did to lead that organization was amazing. So I really appreciated watching that. He was named a top 25 leader under the age of 40 by the Owensboro Messenger. He was Friday After 5 Music Festival chairperson and on their board of directors. He was with the Owensboro Davis County Regional Airport Board of Directors and their executive committee. as well as the vice chair of the Republican Party of Davis County. His career highlights include leadership in numerous rulemaking efforts, oversight of emergency planning and response, encompassing tracking thousands of incidents annually at the U.S. Department of Transportation. In Florida, he was the lead secretary for Emergency Service Framework Programs 2 and 7 under the National Response Framework. And in addition to his professional achievements, Inman is an avid boater, a licensed PADS scuba diver, and a pilot's license candidate. Inman's dedication to safety combined with his multifaceted experiences make him a sought-after expert for conferences and professional engagements. Inman and his wife Ann and their 9-year-old Labradoodle, Bella Jane, reside in Arlington, Virginia. But Todd has never forgotten his roots and always shows up for Owensboro, as Candace mentioned. When we traveled to D.C. in multiple different situations, specifically with the Chamber and with our high school students at the Statesmanship Academy, in each one of those cases, he went above and beyond to create unforgettable experiences. They not only resulted in lasting memories, but significant, truly significant opportunities for meaningful progress for Owensboro. So we want to say a personal thank you to him and for all of us in Owensboro. Please give a warm welcome to Member J. Todd Inman.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Clay. Certainly appreciate that. Before we dive into the NTSB, though, let me just say it's good to be home. There's something to be said about being around people that you really have loved and been around and cherished for a long period of time. What's really exciting, though, is seeing the class of 2025. I had to make sure that they were graduating rather than starting, but it's an opportunity that's just amazing. So I hope each one of you, this is not a commencement address, and please don't ask me, President, later for that. But it is kind of a look back into your journey and what happens next and what occurs. So if you indulge me, I think I'm going to go back 23 years ago. Years 2002. Twitter is not even a word until 4 years later. 2 revolutionary TV shows are launched, American Idol and The Bachelor. Lennox Lewis gave Mike Tyson his first ever defeat. In case you didn't know, Mike Tyson did not come out of the birth with a big tattoo on his head. Tiger Woods wins his 3rd Masters. September 11th attacks are still fresh on America's minds, and we invade Iraq and Afghanistan. ICE is found on Mars. A newly minted U.S. citizen uses his money from selling PayPal to form the Commercial Space Exploration Company, which you now know as SpaceX and Elon Musk. A State Farm agent in Owensboro, Kentucky, gives out 1,500 road atlases because the iPhone hadn't been created yet, and people typically had 2 electronic devices in 2002, an iPod and a BlackBerry. No one knew what an app store was, much less how to Amazon anything. But that class, that's the best class ever. But it was also in that year that 29 people graduated as part of Leadership Owensboro. One of them was a kid from Calvert City who had just moved to Owensboro 2 years ago. What he didn't know at the time is that journey in that class would set off a chain of events that would lead him standing here today with you, serving as a board member of the National Transportation Safety Board. Now, I've sat through hundreds of Rooster Boosters over my time, always anxious at what the good news phone would bring. I had to explain to Olivia, let me just also, I'd like to just a little, we usually have several staff that are political appointees in my office. Olivia Marcus, if you will stand for a moment, she's the confidential assistant in my office in D.C. She helped write this. God knows she has 3 watches because she's always like, we're on time and we're going to go here or there. You really are made by the people that are around you. But I had to explain what the good news phone was on the way over here, and I still can't get that design of that curve.
It's just sleek.
It's sleek. It's modern. It's retro. I remember being here when the Executive Inn was imploded and the foundation was started for this amazing building. I recall being the chairman of Friday After 5 whenever we got word of a $40 million grant because we had 1/3 of that patio space, which kicked off a massive revitalization of this community. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana yesterday talking to about 100 first responders from Republic Airlines, and a lady says, I love going to Owensboro. It has such a beautiful waterfront. Why didn't you guys advertise it 15, 20 years ago? Well, shit, we hadn't built it. Yeah. But it is putting it on the map. But for now, those are all memories. What those memories created, though, are a foundation for pivotal moments. Those type of moments require action in our lives. I can tell you this for certain, though. I would never have guessed that those moments and those times would be the road where it would take me now. But that is the beauty of life. You never know when you're going to get that one call, the one moment of destiny or chance to truly make a difference in your community or country. Now, some people talk about 15 minutes of fame, and to be sure, we've seen how that can go for some people, so positive, negative. But I believe it's not about whether your moment comes, it's about what you do if it ever does. Never would have I imagined in 2002 that my personal moment would ever come the way it currently has. So in order to make sure I paid for my travel, we need to talk about the NTSB for a few minutes. You're my last stop. I am anxious to get home. I've been home 3 days in the last 3 weeks, 4 countries, Italy, France, Monaco. It's kind of cool being with F1 racers in Monte Carlo, and they think you're kind of cool. They got great hair. But it's wonderful to be back here, but I do need to make sure we do the work. For those who don't know what the NTSB is, we're directed by Congress to investigate every civil aviation crash in the United States and determine the probable cause, along with highway, railroad, pipeline, and maritime incidents that are catastrophic or offer a unique opportunity to improve safety. Baltimore bridge collapse. A few weeks ago, 2 sailors on a Mexican tall ship. The submersible that went to the Titanic. East Palestine. Door plugs that fall out of airplanes. All of those are our investigations. The NTSB, though, does not have regulatory authority, giving us a unique perspective from which we can evaluate accidents from an unbiased viewpoint. The board itself is comprised of, at full numbers, 5 independent members nominated by the president from different political parties and confirmed by the Senate after an exhaustive background and vetting experience. There have been a few times that FBI agents have been back in this community saying, "Hey, do you know Todd Inman?" Well, how come? Well, I can't really tell you. I survived my security clearances, so thank you if they came. But it is hard. It's about a year-long process. And try being a Republican having the Biden administration say, "Are you worthy of this?" But ultimately, our job is to be unbiased. The board has about 436 employees, and we've investigated over 150,000 accidents. In over 60 years, we've issued 15,000 recommendations with about an 80% implementation rate. Our job is to figure out what happened, why it happened, and to prevent it from happening again. As a board member, we often serve as the voice of the agency, and that's broken up into a few different functions.
Turn next tonight here to the tragic plane crash in a field in upstate New York, killing a former NCAA Woman of the Year, her parents, her brother, and 2 others on that plane, just 10 miles from the airport. And here's Gio Benitez tonight.
Tonight, NTSB investigators are working through the wreckage of a private plane that plunged into this field in upstate New York, just 10 miles from the airport, killing all 6 on board.
What we can say is weather was, at that time, what we consider to be deteriorating. Part of this role is to be that voice and speak on behalf of the board. It's also to be there to brief the families and victims. And unfortunately, it often is in some type of tragic fashion that it occurred. The fireman is the one who gets the call whenever the house is burning down. We're the one that gets the call after the fireman goes. We also work with government and other people in the industry to make sure that we're getting access, keeping the families and victims. Last year, we had 376 fatalities that we worked with 4,000 victims, and that was not even including the activities so far this year. Part of our role, though, during that initial response is to manage the state, local, and federal partners. That's something I learned about being here in Owensboro. How do you interact with someone who it's their job to take care of this community? You show them respect, you show them empathy, but you got to understand they were there. They was the first responder. They're the one that had to answer the call before you got there. The board eventually reviews all of the evidence, improves the findings and recommendations, and this often occurs at the end of an investigation, which due to the thorough and complete nature can take 12 to 24 months. In fact, on the 24th of this month, you'll probably see on some of the national news our discussion of what's called a door plug that fell out of an airplane about 1.5 years ago. That final hearing will be on the 24th. 2 months from now, you will see 2 or 3 days of what we call hearings in DC, where we will be questioning military members, air traffic controllers regarding the DCA crash. For the door plug investigation, you had 3,000 online visitors from 42 countries, and it's been watched 250,000 times. People have an interest in what we're doing, and that's good. We needed that. But let's go back this little journey on my own path. It started just like yours, working hard, setting down roots in Owensboro. 17 years, I ran a state farm agency. I was lucky to be one of the top 50 out of 17,000 at one point. But I loved helping, being able to get people back after they had a loss, making them feel protected. But then you get a call, and that call was to public service. And I had the opportunity to start a new chapter in my professional life whenever I was offered a position under President Trump's first administration in the Department of Transportation. Now, those 4 years changed not only my perspective on how government worked, but I better understood the industry as well. Started as a director of operation, my final 2 years as chief of staff. I never imagined the day I agreed to work in Washington, I would be leading 55,000 employees, 20,000 contractors, and a $93 billion budget, all while trying to go through COVID and make sure the transportation network still delivered your toilet paper and medicine and everything you needed. It wasn't on a 5-year plan. I had a business, I had a rhythm. Things were going well. People were surprised whenever I left. Hell, I was a little surprised that I left. But for my parents, as their only child, they were heartbroken. That was the toughest conversation of all. However, that change from advocating for my community to hopefully making real changes across the country was something I did not want to turn away from. Serving this country in any capacity, in any way, is one of the greatest honors a person can have. Community service and government service are so very important. And I want to mention something else. One of the things at the Department of Transportation, you never can tell where there's going to be an interaction. Clay Ford, in case you didn't know, is a Democrat. I think he registered that way. But, you know. Clay and I worked well, very well together on the Wendell Foster board. We would come together. We were the co-chairs of the government affairs people of the committee, and we walk into Frankfurt and go, what are you two doing together? But we worked really well together. But the thing I will say is the legacy from Owensboro and aviation safety is much deeper than me. The Wendell H. Ford Aviation Act has been saving thousands of lives over the last 20 years. There are details that we use as part of that groundbreaking legislation to this day, and is being used as a model for additional reauthorizations. So we owe a great gratitude to not only Clay, Wendell Ford, all those that came before us, that we get home safe and sound. Service can, however, look different from everyone. So you can help at your church, coach the PTA. Ultimately, if you're raising your hand and putting service above self, an impact will be seen. And at DOT, I witnessed a lot of spectacular examples of not only industry and government collaboration. Traveling the world gave me a totally different view of how America is viewed, and it's viewed in a positive light. They look for us to lead leaders. I had the opportunity to be at the G7 in Sardinia, Italy. What the heck am I going to talk about? Now, all they wanted to know is, how do you do it? And it's the people, ultimately. It's this country spirit. It's that spirit of service. We did amazing things. We awarded a lot of grants. We got a lot of press, a lot of pushback. I know we're still trying to get the Riverport Road done 7 years later, but we did great things. Unfortunately, though, I got to see the opportunity of the other side of that. And I was at the department when the Boeing MAX 737 crashes occurred. The first crash was a tragedy, and the second was a travesty. I witnessed corporate greed overshadowed responsible government oversight. It was then that I wanted to try to chart my course to be on the NTSB. I wanted to be there to make sure a second accident didn't occur, and that I could raise my hand for those who were not with us anymore. We live in a time when government is under a lot of scrutiny, and rightfully so. People should expect a lot from government. But unfortunately, it's often the moments of tragedy that we see government in a different light. Those moments challenge us to look critically at both action and location. They force us to ask, are we doing enough? Are we prepared to respond? That's what I think about every time I visit a crash site. But transportation safety doesn't sound flashy, but it's one of the most important things we invest in. Every time you or your family drives a car, steps on a plane, boards a train, you're putting your trust, your life, in the fact that we did our job, that we designed a system that was safe for you. But before I could move on to that goal of the NTSB, I had another little slight turn. After leaving the department in 2021, I was asked by Governor DeSantis to be the Secretary of Management for the state of Florida. This was another call to service I never expected. that with a staff of over 1,000 people and responsibility for all state purchasing, real estate, telecommunications, cyber, I even had private prisons, you name it. It was an amazing opportunity you just could not step back from, but you could learn from and say, they asked me to raise my hand, I will. A few months ago, after the DCA crash, I was at an event with Congressman Brett Guthrie, who was just an amazing man. And he was speaking to a group, and he said, Todd, come over here, I want you to say something. He pointed me out and he said, you can never tell when leadership is required, but make sure you're ready to answer the call when it does. And for that reason, I'm glad Todd was the one to answer the call for the DCA crash. It wasn't until he said that, I really hadn't thought about being called at a particular time and moment. It's just where my life was. It's what happened. But I will add, whenever you get called, answer it. Be ready to go and give it everything you can. Some of my most humbling moments in the last year have come with the NTSB. Unfortunately, where we are at and what we do are typically the worst moments for others in their lives. It's very tragic whenever you have to look at this as a final resting spot for people. But you want to try to figure out, how do you stop that from happening again? We looked out over accident sites and locations and thought, how do we fix this? We don't do it for politics. We don't do it for headlines. We do it for prevention, for saving lives. But it was on January 29th at 8:48, and I apologize. I'm going to work through this because this is the first time I've spoken publicly about it. We okay with that? 8:48, most impactful call came in my life.
S25, get the CRJ in flight. S25, have fun, it's CRJ. Let's go to the aircraft in flight, separation.
American 4782 by Baton, now for visual.
472 Washington, 1 star 32017.
Did you see that?
472. American 3130, go out, turn left in 250, climb maintain 3000.
One day you're raising your hand in a chamber meeting, the next day you're facing a tragedy. You never know who will be sitting in the room, what you'll be asked to lead, or where you'll need to go. Some of you here may start a business that changes this town's future. You may actually get into public service and government of your own. Just be ready when that call comes and try to give it your all. But every experience you're having right now can lead up to that moment in your own way of making an impact in someone's life.
These videos obtained exclusively by CNN show previously unseen angles of the collision between an American Airlines flight and a US Army Black Hawk helicopter. In the first video, the Black Hawk can be seen flying at speed over the Potomac from the left side of the screen. The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the two collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river. In the second video, you can see the Army helicopter and American Airlines plane travel toward each other. After the collision and subsequent explosion, the airliner can be seen spinning into the water, and the Black Hawk is also seen falling into the water.
Through the luck of the draw, that day, that hour, that minute, I was on call. Board members on call roughly 1 week every month. And nothing was so tragic. In fact, we had not launched a board member since Labor Day of 2024, and it was me for a 7-person fatal in Vicksburg highway crash. But on January 28th, that call did literally happen outside my door. I live on Army-Navy Drive in Arlington, so I was able to see the DCA airport and the Pentagon, the most beautiful view to see the Capitol monuments. At that time, it was great to see planes coming in and out. But at that moment, the only thing I could see were fire trucks starting to come across. And it's in that moment where you have to decide if you're going to answer the call. So immediately we activate a group. We have training, but nobody can train for something this big in your own neighborhood. Normally we have a few hours to pack a bag. This wasn't a few hours. You just put your shoes on and you went out the door. Now, we edited this. This is actually some video and footage of us arriving on scene. We edited it for you, but I think the important and the gravity of it is that picture on the left, what you don't see are the 20-plus bodies that have already been pulled from the Anacostia at that point. The children that were figure skaters that were there for a trip, the parents who were chaperones, the elderly gentlemen that were coming back to see their family, 7 hunters that had been on a trip coming back. That was that evening. "250 first responders arrived on scene. Divers continued to dive the Potomac and the Anacostia for the next 2 weeks to recover the rest of the bodies that were there. And for 2 additional months, they drove the bottom of the Potomac for all fragment items larger than a cell phone size. Thousands. That night of DCA midair, I saw things that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I've been told that they'll be with me for the rest of my life. And I have gotten counseling, and I'll continue to do so because we have to take care. And I love the fact about the suicide prevention. Self-help is critical. You have to take care of yourself. It had been 19 years since we'd had another commercial airliner crash. Suddenly, not only the United States, but the world was watching and wanted to know what happened.
Waking this morning, breaking news as a passenger plane collided with a military helicopter in midair over Washington, D.C. Both aircraft then plummeted into the Potomac River.
All right, there is a search and rescue operation going on, but right now we're hearing it's not a rescue operation.
So that night was the start of a most significant discussion of air traffic control safety that our country has ever seen and is a part of. 2 days later in Philadelphia, 7 people lost their lives on an air ambulance crash. 10 days later, 10 people in Nome, Alaska lost on a charter flight due to being overweight. 3 weeks after that, 3 people in Mississippi on an air ambulance flight lost their lives, which I actually worked. Another month later, 6 people in Copac, New York. 2 days prior to that, 6 people in an air helicopter crash in the Hudson. I didn't launch on the Hudson crash because I had a personal issue that I didn't feel like I could do it at that moment. 2 days later, I could go to Copac. We have to pick and choose when we answer the call. I couldn't answer the call then because I needed to take care of myself first. But then you realize that you're at that 15 minutes of fame and the world wants to know what is going on. And suddenly you are in front of literally 100 television cameras with a feed that's being sent to 127 countries, being asked to do every morning show and every evening show in the United States, along with the BBC, TMZ, Inside Edition. Suddenly you become that face. But at that point, you have to answer the call. And the call is to try to make sure you're giving that solace to those families, because what you don't see on the other side is every day we brief the family members of those who perished. Over 150 in Bethesda, Maryland, in person, 70 to 80 virtually. On my birthday, February 1st, I did a 5.5-hour briefing with the family. I didn't have answers, but they wanted to be heard. They're screaming at the Army. They're screaming, wanting to know who killed my family member. We don't know, but it's our job to figure it out. And then you have to step in front of the media. Sorry if there's some in the back, and answer some really silly questions, but they deserve to know too, because you wanted to know. You were watching. Many of you did, and many of you came back with support. That's where a family that you kind of came up with made a big difference. Thank you for those of you, Sally, you're a godsend. Many others that just reached out just to say we're there for you, because you never know when that person needs help. So this picture was taken on that day by a Getty image photographer, and it's a challenge coin that we had this made over a year ago. Something you give as a sign of appreciation or token to another government official or military official. Many people have them displayed. Has the name and your title on the front, and on the back some people put an inscription. Well, my inscription was, "From tragedy we draw knowledge to improve the safety of all." It was on the front doors of our training center for many years until it closed 2 years ago, and I thought that's just a really good one. But it was an opportunity, and put that on there a year ago. I didn't know how impactful it would be with this accident. And so that image went out to, I believe, about 52 countries from what they told me later. But it was a way for people to connect. But even though we should have tragedy, I'm telling you, don't run from it. We need to embrace it. We must face it head on for the opportunities it presents and the meaningful change it can mean. And that's what we are doing now. And those challenge coins actually have a little bit of a better thing. I know Curtis asked about my mom and dad a few minutes ago who have passed. But whenever I left Calvert City, my dad was heartbroken. Don't go, kid. So whenever I came home the first time, about 2 weeks later, my Secretary Chow had gotten a few challenge coins. And I came handed them to him and said, here, this is what I got. And he said, oh, that's great. Next day I get ready to leave to come home. I said, Dad, where are those coins? I said, well, do you mind I just continue to look at them a little bit? I'm like, sure. About a week or two later, my mom says, you won't believe this. Every person that's come through the house, even the mailman, the garage guys, she's showing them these coins at you and saying, this is what my son's doing. That was Secretary Chow, but he loved it. So from that day, I started collecting those coins. And until about a year and a half ago, when he passed, they were on display in Calvert City, Kentucky. Now they're in my office. And I hope the next time any of you come, you'll get to see that office of the ones I've received from other people as a sign of appreciation and the work that we try to do. The bottom left container are all from the DCA crash. The number of people that worked, responded, and did with us. Those are people that answered the call along with us. So it's not a single person. It's a kid from Calvert City who answered a call. He's a kid that sat in leadership Owensboro, the class of 2002, best class ever. It's also the kid who learned all of these lessons sitting in here with you. So I'm going to ask you, and as you're sitting here, how does this apply to me? I'm a small business owner, or I'm a parent trying to get through the week. I'm telling you right now, you never know when your call will be. It may not be for the entire country. It may be just for an individual person. But when that call happens and you get an opportunity to change a life, will you be ready? Will you step up even when it's inconvenient? Will you serve even when the rewards aren't immediate? Will you speak up for what's right even when it's not popular? If my story proves anything to you, is that opportunity doesn't always dress up in a tie and suit. It comes in every form and fashion in everything that you are wearing here today and what you do. Sometimes it shows up as a nonprofit needing a board member, a nation needing one more public servant. So for this kid from Calvert City, be present, be involved, be ready, because leadership isn't reserved for the few, it's waiting for the willing. To the Leadership Owensboro class here today, there'll be another class after you, and then hopefully another and another, but your legacy and your future will be defined not in today, but in the years to come. You just don't know it yet. So take the opportunities, say yes when you can, learn what skill or experience you need to lead, find good people, really good people, let them shine and do their work, and you will be better from it. We can't lose sight of servant leadership. The next generations are too important to forget that. So many of you already understand it, so make sure you're trying to pass it down as well. And more importantly, learn from tragedy so we can improve the safety for us all. And for the leadership class of 2025, if you'll come see Candy, I think we have one of these coins I hope you will display, every one of you, somewhere in your desk, and a remember of what you can do in the future. Thank you.
All right, before we let you go, we have our song about Owensboro, courtesy of Tamara and Andy Brasher. We're going to bring them up. They are ready to go. They have even named this thing. I will let Tamara tell you what it's called. And remember, Porch Fest, Saturday the 14th. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you on Griffith Avenue. It's going to be a great time. All right, Andy. Let's review the words that we gave just to refresh everybody's memory.
I may have that somewhere.
Oh, there it is. So the words again were vibrant, guitar, sticky and sultry, sweet tea, river, romp, porch fest, family, and Blue Bridge.
All right, here we go.
Andy Brasher, everybody.
Thank you. All right, we call this Grab Your Guitar. Thank you, Emma. We're sipping on sweet tea in the vibrant river town of Owensboro, Kentucky. That sultry summer air's got us feeling sticky as we walk around at Porch Fest with our family. There's music in the air and the sun is shining bright on the Blue Bridge. Before we head to romp, let's grab something from the fridge. Then we'll dance like hippies in the moonlight among the trees. Grab your guitar, your fiddle, and your mandolin. Let's sing a song for Owensboro tonight. Well, it's summertime, it's got us feeling fine. Let's sing a song for Owensboro tonight.
That's why you say yes when you can. Great job, y'all. Have a fantastic month. Thank you so much.